Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Heffe's Chop Shop. I hope you enjoyed that abandoned road full of fluffy toys. On this episode, we're going to be working on Emily's other car, the IS250 Lexus. So a few weeks ago, I was driving this and I noticed that the rear shock was a bit bouncy compared to the others. So we ordered some new MCA coilovers and we're going to put those in today. So in episode 15, I showed you the specs and the coilovers themselves. So in this episode, I'm just going to show you the install and the end result. This is Emily's IS250 2007 Lexus. It's got late model wheels on it. We're not sure what they are, but they're 19s instead of 17s. This thing's really nice to drive. She bought it about 6 months ago. Today we're going to lower it. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of wheel gap. We just want to bring it down about an inch to an inch and a half. Just a sensible daily height. So let's get stuck into it. So the first thing I'm going to do today is measure from the center of the center cap to the top of the wheel arch. So we've got some kind of reference of how high it is currently and how high it is when we're finished. So the measurement from the center of the wheel to the top of the guard in the front is 36 centimeters and a half, and the back is 38 and a half centimeters. So next up, we've taken the plastic trims off the engine bay. They're all over there, so we can get to the top strut bolts on either side. So now we need to crack the wheel nuts, jack the car up, take the wheel off, and I'll show you the bottom half of the suspension. So we're inside the passenger side wheel well here. Just jacked up the car and taken the wheel off. So this is all gross and rusty, so we'll get paint for that, but we're probably not going to have time today. We'll probably paint this and this bit, and then the caliper at a later date. So this is the strut that we're replacing. So there's those 3 bolts on the top I showed you. Coming down, there's one for the brake line. Down the bottom there's just 1 bolt. So luckily this is a lower control arm setup with a top A arm. It's not double A arm, because double A arm, the other A arm goes here and it makes the strut really hard to get out. So this should be reasonably straightforward because there's not a lot in the way to get it out. So I've just taken the 3 bolts off the top and the 1 off the bottom and pulled the strut out. A bit of wiggling to get it out, but it's easy enough. So this bolt here is the main one. We had to take the ABS or the speed sensor off of this wheel, and then, oh sorry, it's down here, and then had to take out this bolt for the hub so that we could pull the bottom of the strut over this way, drop it down, and pull the front out, the top out of here, and then pull the whole out that way. That's over there on the lawn. And now Emily's just getting the MCA one organised. We'll put that in and go from there. So I've got the MCA strut in. As you can see, it's nice and shiny. Put the bolt back in, put the ABS sensor back on, put the hub bolt back in. Did up this again, and I've wound the top collar down. So the gap between here and here is 85 millimeters. So we're going to start with that. I'm not sure how high these things sit, so we'll go from there. And then if you read this, do not base height adjust. So they set this from the factory and they only want you to load up here to move this one here. So it actually says in the instructions, if the spring isn't captive, don't stress out about it. It's fine. Once the car's on the ground, that's what they want you to do. So they said you can lower this all the way down to here and have the spring floating around like a frog in a sock, as long as this one doesn't move. So they set that from factory. And being how good quality these are, I'm not going to argue with them because they know what they're doing. So we just finished the front, got it to a nice height on the first go. So 85 millimeters is about right. So we're just doing a street comfortable height. So I'm just backing it in out of the way because my mate's going to come and pick up that 7K in a minute. So as you can see, it's heaps lower. So this measured at 335 on both the front and or both sides of the front. So we've lowered it, I think it was 365 before, so we lowered it about 30 mil. And as you can see, looks a whole bunch nicer. Just sits perfectly. And I don't think there's any scrubbing issues, and it looks like it drives well still. So let's lower the back down and get a wheel alignment tomorrow. So the guy that's going to buy this 7K said he'll be here in 10 minutes. So I've just pulled the engine crane out the front, jacked the engine right up. Ready to go, 7K. So it has the flywheel. I've taken the starter motor off because that was dead anyway. So he doesn't need that because it's garbage. And then everything else is there. So the ECU and the aircon bracket and the spark plug tubes are in there as well with the spark plugs. So it's ready to go. All the wiring's there. So I'll update you once that's gone and we've got the new sway bar. So that was a nice easy transaction. 7k is sold and we got the sway bar for the seal. So now we just got to move the trailer and all the stuff back, and then we can put the IS into the driveway again and then lower the back. So I'm back on the Lexus. This is the rear left. I've had to unbolt the lower control arm, so unbolt the sway bar and then unbolt the knuckle. And I had to loosen off the other end of the lower control arm. Then there was 2 bolts here for the strut and 2 in the boot, and then 1 on that lower control arm. So that's all out now, and we're just going to chuck the coilover in. So just setting up the rear coilover here, just taking a stab in the dark. We've lowered it a bit, so we made it 95 millimeters from that lower green ring to the top green ring and locked it back in. So we'll try 95 mil and then we'll see if it's too high or too low. So just finished the left hand rear and put it on the ground, but then we've jacked it up again so we can do the right hand rear, and then I'll get some shots of it all finished. So that's the ugly old struts, and these are the brand new pretty coilovers. So I've adjusted this one to 95 mil. Just got to throw it back in here. Same setup as the other side. Had to undo a few extra bolts, so I just need to feed it up through that hole there and do up the top nuts and put it back together. So we just finished installing the coilovers. We're going to have to adjust them tomorrow because the back's a little bit too low for what Emily wants. So she's just taking it for the first test drive and just going to turn around and come back in. And then we'll just check over it tomorrow and raise it up again and get a wheel alignment on Monday. But it looks pretty good. So another thing to mention is we set all of the shocks to soft. So it's going to be super nice, comfortable daily. Well, the back's settled even more. It's even lower now. But it looks pretty badass. So it's the following day, we just had a bit more time, so we've raised the back up again, and the front was about 1 centimetre out on the driver's side. It was higher than the passenger side, so we've lifted the passenger side up because it was a bit too low. Then the back, the same sort of story. The passenger side was 1 centimetre lower than the right hand side, so we've lifted it all up. It looks much better. It's much more sensible. Doesn't look as cool, but definitely looks nice. Looks heaps better than it did when it was stock. So very happy with the results of these MCA coilovers. And I went for a drive just quickly around the block and it feels super soft still. There's definitely firmer than the stock stuff, but they are much nicer than regular coilovers. So they're soft enough to be comfortable, but they're still firm and feel direct. So they're definitely a big upgrade over the stock stuff. So while I've been working on the Daihatsu and the Lexus, I've also been working on the part swap challenge in the background. So this is the challenge where I'm going from $30 to $30,000. So this is to buy a Model A Ford. So we started with $30. I bought a front lip off of a A112 Corolla. I sold that for $200. And then I bought and sold some side skirts, which made me up to $288. So I bought and sold some backing plates for a K55, which makes you be able to put K70 brakes on a K10. So I bought and sold those. That made me to $322. I then bought some wheels for $100 and sold them for $200, which got me to $422. So I then bought and sold the 7K out of the Town Ace that we pulled from You Pull It. I'm now at $822. So from there, I've bought the bell housing from the 7K as well, and the lower control arms, and I'm at a total of $761. So I've still got the bell housing and the lower control arms to sell, and I'm at $731 profit with the $30 buy-in to start with. So it's only the 6th of August, and we started this on the 17th of July. So we've only been at it for a couple of weeks, but I'll update you when I have some more progress. So in the next episode, we'll be working on the Sior again. I've just picked up a VRS kit and I'm getting some engine flanges laser cut. So I'll be able to make a turbo manifold and start resealing the new engine and painting it. So we're getting close to putting the engine back in. We're just going to do some preventative maintenance and make the engine look a bit nicer. So thanks for watching El Jefe's Chop Shop, and I'll see you next time.